The yen was definitely stronger overnight. That's important. We'll talk about that. Definitely that whole kind of basket trade when the dollar yen at 152 got intervened or rejected, however you want to put it. Yen stopped going down, bonds stopped going down, and basically gold did its, hot fire flames move and then has since digested. But the point is, yen definitely was strong overnight versus, others. And dollar has already kind of come into a resistance level.
This short clip is presented by Club. Club provides access to Samantha LaDuc and her team of professional macro and micro traders, analysts, and educators. Club is ideal for active traders, investors, and institutions who want Samantha's best-of-breed market timing calls across all asset classes and timeframes like chase, swing, and trend. Get the trade before it happens. Sign up to Club now and get full access to daily live trading room with Samantha LaDuc, Slack trading desk with detailed analysis and trades, custom trade support when you need it, and much more. For more information, visit www.laductrading.com/club.
All right, so that was yesterday. Just so you know, last evening, in fact. Remember I said this is my bet. We're going to kind of bounce in this 103 area. Just happened to be pretty strong technical support level, just like that 10-year has a pretty strong technical support level of the 200-day. Well, this was I think the 50 or the 55, I can't remember, but I talked about it a few weeks ago, coming into play, and we would come into this kind of 104.20 area. So the dollar yen now pushing higher. Let me just kind of show you that. All right, so you can see that this is the dollar yen. Boom. So that was the 152. Remember all that intervention area. We have rolled over very, very firmly into 145. Talked about that specific level. So USD JPY at 145 should also be supportive of gold. So that was another level I gave. I don't expect that this is going to be so easy to get down below 2009, given that this was looking like it was going to roll over, and it has. So long story short, this is still working. If you are playing the dollar yen, as soon as it broke down on the weekly as well, it was a solid, here it is. Here's the dollar yuan on the 1 week, dollar yen on the 1 week. That's intervention back from, October of 2022. Anyway, it's working, right? So this is very much a rollover candidate. And this is perfectly into price target of 145. So that's pretty important. If you're playing that, this is now a bounce area, right? So 145-ish is definitely price target for dollar yen. And if you're playing the FXY, which was the, all right, so that was the 152 that also happened to be a yearly resistance. It happened to be a 100% fib retracement level. Anyway, long story short, this is quarterly support, this yellow. And it is also the 30-week, and it's also a weekly. So we have a lot of support right here. Let's just see what happens. But I really like this area for a bounce. Otherwise, it's going to be a massive trounce type of situation, which would be, I think, volatility producing as well. But you can see where we're coming right into the 200 at this 144. So we've got 145 as a price target. I mean, literally, I'm saying 145, but you can see it, 144.99, right? So I know those who trade this currency, it's all in pips and such, but I'm going to round down, and 145 was absolutely price target. So here we are. It is absolutely on 3 levels of support on a weekly, although it looks, very foreboding. It is still on a lot of massive support, okay? And this is, like I said, the whole structure of breaking that trend line was also bearish. All right. So what does this mean? That we're getting a little pushed here in my theme of this supporting higher higher yen, higher gold, and higher bonds. So here's that FXY for those who kind of like, okay, that's one way of trading it. It hasn't really done too much except it bounced right inside that Keltner and the 10-week, which was key, right? It had to get and stay above 62. In fact, it did a little shake and bake, and I wasn't worried. Remember when I said I'm not worried about this one? I think it's going to fill that gap and go back up. It has. And now this morning we're pushing into the 64. What's my level? 64.12. So the dollar yen moved down to 145. Check. The FXY, for those who are doing the retail, 64.12. That's going to hit today. And then we're going to look obviously at what's going on with bonds. And we're going to start with TLT, retail friendly. All right. So it popped up here pre-market, which is in this 96 area. You can see 96.33, and then the 200 is up here. We're now getting a little parabolic. So this started out as the, the Bill Ackman cover. He obviously knew the QRA was going to come out on the November 1st time frame with more bills than bonds. Anyway, this was consolidating here pretty nicely, little morning star reversal, but nonetheless, very, very nice consolidation. And then it gapped up. This, of course, is the Yellen Yahtzee of November 1st, along with a pause. And it has been chopping sideways pretty orderly, right? Here's the 21. If you're a little bit, wider stop, that 8, which is magenta, has been tagged, but it hasn't broken below it. And then it starts to break away and starts to get a little parabolic. So now they're chasing TLT. Two things happened. A lot of shorts covering, and now they're just clamoring for calls. Yesterday, Craig mentioned in the webinar that I like all-time high calls coming in. So they're really kind of late to this party. I would say that the 200-day makes a lot of sense, but I also know a lot of folks that have covered with in this time frame are taking large swaths of their very profitable gains in this bond bounce off. So this is the bond move. We already saw yen, dollar yen, and then of course gold also started before that. We know that, but it really also got its groove. Sorry, this is the first. All right, so it already got its groove, early for other reasons. Anyway, but it stayed very, very supportive, very nicely supported at this 179. Once it got above that trend line, once it formed that morning star reversal on a weekly. Anyway, it came back in. That was very productive. And then GDX also started getting very excited. But this move above, and I keep saying if we can stay above 186, it's still in trend. So this is a little bit shake and bake. We know that, especially in continuous gold, it got way extended, but you also know it has a volatility, gold and silver and miners. So right now, that basket, if you will, of going, long the yen and gold and bonds, silver and gold already started long before it. And silver is coming back hard, but believe it or not, it has not broken that 10-week. So remember this, this little wedge here, right? It got below. I had 1941 as a price target short, and then it turned sharply around, did a lot of mucking about, all these moving averages it needed to clear, and it did. So we've had a very sharp pullback. There's no question. I would still say this 2150 is a good guide. If it falls below, it's a solid short. Otherwise, it could get defended here. So kind of be on the lookout for that. And then, of course, this inverse head and shoulder for miners. We finally had a breakout of size. It hit price target, it came back in, and it's sitting above all those moving averages. Again, that's the 200. There's a little bit of, give and take with this hard commodity, XME, right? XLB, GDX theme. But I just say, let's just see what the week brings on those, which are a little bit more pensive, let's say. All right, so we had a very, very strong continuation in the dollar yen. Wouldn't surprise me if we overshoot a little bit to that 144. Gold is getting a little bit supported on that level. All right, so definitely dollar yen into 145 should bounce here. Let's see if gold can hold above 2009. We definitely have the yields falling right into that 4.1 area. but 4.0-ish is going to be the 200-day. So don't rule that out, in other words.
Subscribe to LaDuc Trading YouTube channel for more live trading room recap videos and other content.